What's going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex, and my name is Josh.
And I'm James.
And we are back at this Wednesday night, September 4th. We are in September. We just passed our 4-year. Is it 4-year anniversary?
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, 4-year anniversary of doing this podcast.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. I think we started it back in, what?
2015?
2015?
Yeah.
Summer of 2015, around September 1st, around this time. We did our first show in the back of Undercity Comics. They have like a podcast studio in the back. And
Yes.
That was the first time we did our show. It was pretty, it wasn't bad, man. That was like, well, it seems like ages ago.
It does.
It seems like a long, long time ago. A lot
From
of things has happened since.
From there, we moved to your parents' house.
Yeah.
And now we're back here.
And we're back here. Yeah. Yeah, we try to do it from home. We did it from that studio. It got too pricey to where we can just to do it every week as many times as we wanted. And then we did it.
Because it was time limited.
Yeah, and it was time limited. And then we set up the operation at my parents' house, which was where we first started the podcast. And then moved out. Put a little studio here together, and now it's we've been rocking and rolling for about 4 years now. We've done a lot since then. I mean, talked to countless guests, covered tons of events.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done a lot in those 4 years.
We've done the major promotions.
Yeah.
The UFC, Bellator, Glory.
Yeah.
EBI, Invicta.
Yeah.
LFA.
Yeah.
Combate.
UFC. Yeah.
We did it all.
We did it all. We talked to a ton of people. A lot of people even before I like how we talked to a lot of people even before they got into the UFC, when they were up and coming. And then we talked to a lot of superstars that are either, still doing their thing or retired at this point or are on
Yeah, I remember
careers,
when all the girls come into the UFC.
Yeah.
We were all going out that one day. Remember, we got involved into a big group picture.
Yeah.
And it was a who's who.
Yeah, I think it was Lauren Murphy was in there. I think Kat Zingano was in there. Carla Esparza, Misha Tate. There was like a big group of when they first brought the first crop of female fighters in there. Liz Carmouche, Sarah McMahon. Most of them hadn't even had their first fight in the UFC yet. They had just all got signed. So that was around that time that we started the podcast, and then we
I vividly remember huge group picture that we got involved in.
Yeah, and all the things. I think
we're just hanging out with
New York Rick and becoming friends with New York Rick and
at the bowling alley with Frankie Edgar and his coach and Henzo.
Yeah, making friends with Mark Henry, meeting Frankie Edgar. When
having beers with Alima Farlin.
Yeah, making friends with Alima, who's a Bellator champ now.
We were doing a 30-pack, remember?
Mm-hmm. Marlon Moraes, before he was in the UFC, was there. Doing interviews with Henzo and Mark Henry and Boss Rutan.
Interviewing Megan Anderson before she became anything.
Yeah. Brian Ortega, Max Holloway, before he was Max Holloway.
Yeah.
I think he had injured himself, it broke a hand around that time. This is before he went on his title run. Tito Ortiz.
Stitch.
Yeah, it's countless people. I mean, we talked to almost everybody, man. And it's just Dana White and at least a couple of shout-outs here and there. It's just,
we got to judge a couple fights.
Yeah. Got to do the mock judging for Bellator. Got to attend some of the biggest fights in MMA history.
Interview the commissioner?
Yeah. What's his name?
Andy Foster.
Andy Foster. Being friends with Andy Foster, and every time we see him, it's just it's been great. It's been a great ride. This year's been low key this year, just because we just want to put out episodes. Scheduling wise, it's very difficult to put guests together and get them on board. So we've been taking it easy this year, but just committed to still putting out episodes as soon as we can, as often as we can. And just doing the thing until things are able to pick up again to where we can really go full force into this thing again and really try to get the most out of it. but yeah, that's where we're at right now, man. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been
It's been
crazy.
fun. Um, did you catch the main event at least of
I caught the main event.
Shenzhen
I think
UFC Shenzhen?
our time zone here, I think started at 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah, no, I was when I woke up, and I woke up fairly early Saturday. It was already over. So
Yeah.
when I woke up, I just caught the replay of the main event on ESPN Plus, and then
Yeah,
that was
I did
it.
the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go that way. I mean, not that soon. I thought Zhang Wei was, she was definitely a tough, tough outing for Jessica Andrade. I thought she was she had definitely a chance to win. Um, she's what not was it 19-1 at that time? She's 20-1 now. Um, and she's looked good so far, and she's a dynamic striker. And Jessica Andrade, I know, like it can get hit often. Um,
It was a bad matchup.
yeah.
And
Oh, sorry. Turn it off.
Jessica Jessica Andrade, she came in aggressive and she kind of fought her fight.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. She came in aggressive. She came in like how she normally does, but with when you're fighting a calculated striker you're in their home turf and they're coming to win. She finished her in vicious finish, man. She looked good, like just athletically, her coordination in terms of like her foot placement, her speed,
Those
her
knees,
power, her
oof.
knees. Like she was conscious of where she was at, and the way she finished her off was just brutal, man. It was just like that put everybody on notice in that division, and it's like, damn, this chick is, you thought she was just like a just a solid fighter that you can probably try to get through, get past, but no, man, this chick she'll light you up if she gets a chance.
Yeah. And I felt bad for Andrade because she had a flight to China. Can you imagine
I
that long
know,
trip and
I
then
know, man.
being the champion and you lose your belt in less than one round?
It reminds me of was it
Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades? Yeah,
Yeah.
was it Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
He goes over
But
there 45 seconds,
yeah,
done.
it sucks. And she has to go back
Oh,
home.
that's horrible. I would just take a week off and just hang out in China or something like that. Just get the
Do
most out of it.
something, but like it sucks. But
Ugh.
I think the UFC brass was a big winner. They
Yeah.
have the first UFC Chinese born champion. I think they're gonna build a market. It's already getting strong. I think they just built a PI center there.
Yeah.
So with their new Chinese born champion, I think that market can grow
As-
tremendously.
And as long as she could keep up the wins and the victories
And she
and
wants to fight regularly.
yeah,
And I think she's taking English right now, so she can be
she's bodied up to it. She's solid. She's
mhm.
like physically like an impressive specimen. Like
She's young.
she's young.
I mean,
She's fairly attractive,
she
she
is.
is.
I just that
In an
I
athletic,
think
a very athletic way, but
yeah.
she's very, very, she's an attractive girl.
No, she is. But I think
Personality.
if she was going to win a championship, I think that fight would probably be her best bet. I think she
Yeah.
has some tough challenges ahead with Joanna, with
Rose.
Rose,
Those are tough
yeah,
challenges.
with
They are.
Tatiana Suarez.
Tatiana Suarez. Uh-huh.
She's a big girl that can create big problems for.
Her title reign could be short-lived, definitely, especially with the crop of girls in her division at the top.
Yeah, because usually like it's usually like a prospect going to the UFC, a hot prospect who becomes a contender, who becomes a title contender, who becomes champion. Where with her, you have her straight as a, a prospect to a champion,
Yep.
and she kind of skipped in between. So she has to pretty much start her UFC career from up down,
Yeah,
down. So it's gonna be difficult for
it is definitely.
her.
I thought it was a great victory for her. Obviously, is what the UFC wanted, especially going into China. It's exactly how it played out perfectly for them.
Yeah,
The crowd seemed fired up. Um, and she looks good. It speaks well. Has personality. She looks great. She fights like she's a beast. So definitely, I think she's going to be somebody that we're going to be seeing in the future. And hopefully, she does fight often.
yeah.
That'd be cool. So I think it's Weili Zhang, not Zhang Weili. Um, And we'll get to right into other news. So the big news recently was Chris Cyborg signing with Bellator. It's a multi-year, multi-fight deal. They say one of the biggest contracts in women's MMA history. I believe it. Now that they're under Viacom and Bellator and who she is, I enjoy, I agree. Indeed. So a couple of things out of that. She obviously has some matchups right away. They're even considering signing Kat Zingano, which is I wouldn't be surprised if that gets finalized in the next couple of months. Julia Budd is there. So options for Cyborg, she can work her way up, get a couple of fights in, and then fight for the title. Or I think, would you be upset if they give her Julia Budd right away?
No, she's a former UFC champion.
Yeah.
She has a name value. And everyone knows who Chris Cyborg is. She has a she's a former Strikeforce featherweight champion.
Yeah.
So I think her fighting Julia Budd would be appropriate. I think.
Yeah. And I think I agree. I agree with Coker in the sense that we get caught up in the hype, and especially the MMA memory is short lived for fans. Um, I think you can still consider her the best of all time because of her title run, the length of her career, who she's fought, and how she's beaten them. Um, you can say Amanda Nunes, and is she the best of all time? Yes, especially you can. There's a case for that with the people who she's beaten of late. Basically, got the biggest names she's taken out. But if you really, really look at it, if you want to argue against that, you can be Holly Holm is past her prime at this point, probably on her way out. She's like that was like her third, fourth title defense. Ronda Rousey was already 1 foot out the door. She took a year off, never changed anything in her camp, coming off a knockout loss. What Misha did she fight Misha Tate?
Yeah, she beat her.
Who was basically 1 foot out the door, also on her way to retirement, had a long career before that. And she takes out Cyborg, who is 34, still dangerous, but also towards the end of her career. She's probably retired before 40. Not taking anything away from Amanda Nunes, but if you want to argue against her case of being the greatest of all time, if she would have fought them at their prime,
yeah,
would she have done as well?
yeah,
and Kat Zingano, and then with Amanda Nunes before this recent run, wasn't necessarily known as
you can say the
beater.
same thing about John Jones and the guys he's beaten.
Yeah,
a lot of those guys were past their prime, but people consider him the greatest of all time because of the names that he beat.
Also, yeah,
it's the same thing with Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
they might be past their prime.
Yeah,
but it's the names that she's beating, just like John Jones's reign. I mean, look at John Jones's title defense. It's all old guys.
She can definitely, but then he's also multi-generational now. He's fighting the new crop and beating them just the exact same way.
I'm saying like people consider him because of his past reign, which is all guys way past their prime.
But he had a fairly solid run leading up to that too, destroying guys like Mark Hamill, Matt Hamill, and all that stuff, like just annihilating them. So he had a pretty good run up to that point too. And Amanda Nunes could still go down as one of the greatest of all time. If you don't want to necessarily consider her that right now, she still has plenty of time to cement her legacy and defend her title multiple times and have a multi-year run. But she's only had a short window of success so far. She got smashed by like a Kat Zingano not that long ago. You know what I mean? So you look at Cyborg. Yeah, she didn't beat some of those girls and some of those names, but she did beat Holly Holm. Ronda
past their prime too.
Yeah, Ronda kind of avoided her.
Yeah.
Did she fight Misha?
No,
Misha. I would say Misha kind of avoided her.
With different weight classes.
Yeah, also different weight classes, and the fact that she's been successful, undefeated for so long, that's hard to do.
But you can say too that Cyborg kind of fought trash cans.
Yeah, there's that too.
A lot of her fights were guys against girls
up and comers
who had no reason
that were there just to feed her, feed the beast.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double. there's a case for both. Definitely,
Yeah.
there's definitely a case for
And I
both.
think when people look back at Amanda Nunes' career, I don't think they're going to be necessarily looking at how old her opponents were.
Yeah,
I think they'd be looking more of
obviously
the names,
the name value goes a long way.
and I think that's going to be more
But
important in people's minds.
but I think if Cyborg fought Ronda, if Cyborg fought Misha, I think she could
Because
have had those
if you put up a
exact same
list
names.
of Cyborg's names and the
Yeah.
people that she's beating versus Amanda's names, I think Amanda's names are more
No, definitely.
impressive.
She's got the biggest names in the
Yeah,
business right there
yeah.
on on her list.
You look at Cyborg's list, it's a bunch of trash cans.
But she would have if she probably would have fought Ronda and Misha, she probably would have taken them out.
Yeah,
I would
I
have.
mean, yeah, but I mean, the argument is,
Amanda maybe not so much. Maybe she still would have lost to Amanda,
yeah.
but I
But I
would say
mean,
the other two.
I think the argument for there is it's a different weight class where Amanda was willing to fight
Yeah.
above her weight class.
Yeah. So
That's
again,
another thing that goes in Amanda's favor is that she fought two different weight classes
that's true.
and a double champion.
That's true. Yeah. So she's going to Bellator. It's the biggest contract that they got going on. She's obviously going to still have to prove that she still has it in a lot of ways. I mean, she got by what's her face, the last girl. I forgot her name.
Who, Cyborg?
Cyborg.
The last person she beat was Jesus, the Canadian chick.
Yeah, I forgot her name. I don't know.
Oh.
So you guys get it. But so she fought out her contract. She's moving on to Bellator. I mean, I still think that Cyborg moving over to Perillo boxing wasn't necessarily the greatest move. I still think that Perillo, yeah, he built some champions, but it's a style of it's a style that he implements that I think only works for certain fighters and that can only last for certain fighters. Like I think like a Cyborg. I don't know if it works for a girl like Cyborg who likes to use elbows and knees and kicks and a little bit more Muay Thai, and it's kind of reducing her down to like a kickboxer, almost like Dos Anjos. Took Dos Anjos down from a Muay Thai guy to like a boxer almost, and it dumbs down I think their skills. So I think I still think her success or her if she's unsuccessful is a part of that. I think so. It's not just age wise or her place in her career right now at the moment. I think that can have an effect on her success over in Bellator. I don't think it's a for sure thing that she beats somebody like Julia Budd. So
Yeah, that's true.
but that's a big news. I think Coker broke the news on Ariel's show.
Yeah.
Um, and then in other news too, you had BJ Penn coming out talking about his recent videos that have surfaced online.
Jeez. That last one was bad.
The last one was bad. Now, watching the video, yeah, he gets dropped. He gets dropped, but there was I guess two parts of the video, and the second part was him ground and pounding the guy. I guess that was like the end of it. So from what BJ came out with a statement saying that he knows the guy. This was a personal thing. He tried to avoid fighting him, and that others around him can attest to that. He had witnesses that he's trying to avoid it. He said that the video was edited in a lot of ways to make him look bad and missed a lot of the stuff in between. That he was, messing with the guy in a lot of ways, like allowing the guy to hit him, allowing him to like kind of like even go for a single leg, and just kind of like telling the guy to calm down. Calm down. I don't want to fight you. Like I guess he was a friend of his, or they had some personal thing, and that you can hear it in the video. He allows him to okay, go ahead and hit me. So he hit him a couple of times, and one of them actually, he's like, he even says that one of them I allowed him to hit me with. The last one I allowed him to hit me with fucking got me. It was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. I seen that. I seen
Yeah.
that second part of the video. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can clearly hear BJ Penn saying that.
Yeah, and so he's like at that point I got up and then I had to like defend myself, and then that's when the second video part came out, and he's saying since I'm going through a custody battle right now, that doesn't help my case. It's like these videos are coming out, these situations are happening to me, like, and it's not helping my situation. Blah blah.
He shouldn't be out. Period.
He shouldn't be out. Period. You're 40 years old. You shouldn't be out at bars fighting people. You should, if you're in that situation, just get out. Like this is not the first time. This is probably the third bar fight this year alone.
Regardless of what happened in that fight, he shouldn't be in the public eye. I mean, he shouldn't be out
Yeah.
in public
Yeah.
drinking, especially when he has a pending case.
Mm-hmm.
With custody of his kids or whatever. I mean, you would think that alone would make you want to stay home and be good.
Yep.
I still disagree with BJ fighting
Yeah.
anymore. I think it's dangerous. I think too many blows to the head is going to affect him later on in his life. I think people should. I'm upset with the UFC for even allowing him and booking him.
I think a lot of people. I think that most of the public is.
And
Most of the
then
fans
Dana
are.
comes out with this excuse so that he gave him a good excuse. BJ gave Dana a good excuse,
Yeah.
or convinced him to let him fight again. He shouldn't. I mean, why? What's BJ's pen situation different than the Dell's situation or anybody else's situation where he forced him to retire?
And TMZ caught up with Liddell, asking him what he thought about the situation in BJ. All the videos of BJ street fighting, and he was saying that, like, especially at that last one, he obviously got rocked in that last one, even though he got back up and all that stuff, but he still got rocked, and that should either cancel the fight altogether or postpone it. And that was his opinion on the thing, and that he, I don't think he had much in terms of if BJ should even fight at all. He never really commented on that or what BJ should really do with his life or anything like that. But he just commented on the situation itself in the video.
Yeah, it's a safety. I mean, it becomes a safety matter now.
But it's almost like I don't get the logic. I don't get the logic with the UFC. I don't understand. Like, unless he's just throwing BJ a bone, here we'll give you a fight. You'll make some money.
It's not like BJ Penn's bringing any pay-per-view buyers or anything. He's on the prelims.
Yeah, and it's like it's not like he's in need of money. Obviously, you fight. Maybe you don't take that much damage. You compete. You get some cash. You're going through a divorce and a custody battle. Maybe you can use that money towards lawyer fees. Maybe that's why he's doing it. I can see that. Like I gotta earn some quick cash.
Yeah.
Throw some Yeah, I know his family has money. He's got money. He's had a long career. He's got businesses. But
at some point, the UFC has to protect him from himself.
And the fact that Dana White hasn't really commented on the situation, the media, MMA media, hasn't really pressed him all too much. Maybe they're afraid to press him, which
that's annoying when they do that stuff like that.
It is annoying. But then also it's the fact that Dana White doesn't run his business like other.
He blacklists people.
Yeah, he blacklists people, and a lot of times their livelihoods depend on it. So they can only write articles criticizing it, but going to him directly is not going to do them any good.
Yeah, unless you're Ariel.
Yeah, and unless you're Ariel, but then you're in Ariel, man. It's like it sucks for him. He goes to ESPN. It seems like he's gonna have all this access, but then he's still almost blacklisted in a way. It's like. You have Brett Okamoto out there doing most of the work.
Yeah.
And Ariel does his show, does a couple of occasional pre-fight stuff, post-fight stuff, but nothing in between. And it's just like, it sucks for him. No sit-downs, no one-on-ones. It's all Brett Okamoto. And granted, I had criticism of Brett Okamoto from early on. I thought he was kind of boring. I think he's kind of come into his own a little bit and got a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And actually has done pretty well, but still, and it's not like Ariel. I think Ariel, you would like to see Ariel in that role, not Brett Okamoto.
Yeah.
And then you have Darren Till and Kelvin Gastelum being booked for I forget which card it's on. But yeah, I don't know. So Darren Till moving up to middleweight, fighting Kelvin Gastelum. I think Darren Till coming off the wins or the losses, I'm sorry, that he's had recently, and bad knockout losses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand their logic in terms of booking this fight.
I mean, he pretty much called the toughest guy in the division.
Basically, he nearly just took out Israel Adesanya.
Who's fighting for the title,
and he beat
who was a beast.
Yeah, and he went toe to toe like 5 rounds, like blow for blow.
I think fight of the year right now.
Yeah,
I picked that fight of the year.
Fight of the year, man. And I mean, he left Israel fucking like pulling it, like reaching deep. And pulling out that victory because Israel had like busted eye and fat lip, and I mean it was a brutal fight. He called out toughest guy in the division, and obviously one of the smallest guys in the division. And I think that maybe that's what he's thinking. I'm a bigger guy. I'm gonna move up to middleweight. I'm gonna be even bigger, stronger. I'm gonna go up and fight the smallest guy in the division. Not with Kelvin Gastelum. He's such a great striker, fantastic wrestler. He closes the distance. He's tough.
He's durable.
Durable. I mean, you can probably catch him with a shot, and I can see that happening.
He's well-rounded.
But he's so well-rounded and so tough and such a veteran that I don't see this going well for Darren Till.
Oh no, no! I think Calvin smashes him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he probably knocks him out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see him just like powering him, taking him down, and ground and pounding him.
Yeah, I mean, again, could Darren Till's no slouch. He can easily catch Calvin with something, maybe even stop
but for
him.
your first fight in the division,
but for the first
pick
fight,
him of all people,
I know.
And
I think they wanted it. They wanted it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Pico and his management. It's like, why would you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, like get into the division, take some good, solid fights, work your way up, prove that you can actually handle yourself in the division. Obviously, look at Rockhold, who's on his way out of the division, but or just his career in general, but moves up to light heavyweight, fights Jan Blachowicz, who is a top contender, but not necessarily title worthy, I would say. But challenges Luke Rockhold, former champion, and Rockhold gets smashed in the first round. So it's like same could go for Darren Till. You move up. Look at Max Holloway. You know what I mean? You would think that he had a fair. He was a favorite going into like a Dustin Poirier fight, but once they got in there, size difference, speed, strength,
and
it all plays a factor.
And also going up the division, like you don't know how your body's gonna react to that.
Yeah.
And you find someone who's already, grounded in that division and knows how that division works, and your body can, like you lose speed, you lose power.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a bad idea all around.
It is a bad idea. It's a tough fight for Darren Till. I don't understand the matchup, and I think it's on later on this year, and I think November, October, somewhere around there. I forget which card it's on. All right, let's get into fight picks for this weekend. UFC 242 is this weekend. You have Cage Warriors also this weekend on Fight Pass. You have Invicta, their Phoenix series on Fight Pass. LFA's also on Access TV. And you have Bellator and UFC going head-to-head. Obviously, you have UFC's in the morning, Bellator's in the evening, so a good weekend of fights. We're gonna be in Vegas, bachelor party weekend.
Yes.
So it's gonna be we're gonna try to be
it's gonna be a hell of a weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun.
Gonna be so hot.
Bellator. Let's touch on Bellator real quick before we get into the UFC card. You have who do you have on this card? Amber Leibrock, Jessica Borga. You have Gaston Bolanos. You have Sam Cecilia. You have Emmanuel Sanchez. You have Adam Borix, who I believe just took out Aaron Pico, the guy who just took out Aaron Pico. Pat Curran in the featherweight tournament. Opening round, you have Derek Campos, Daniel Strauss, featherweight tournament opening round, and then you have Ryan Bader and Czech Congo for the heavyweight title. Just quickly, who's your picks? Two of the top heavyweights outside of the UFC going head to head.
So what's the first one?
Bader and Czech Congo.
I'm going Bader.
You ready, Czech Congo? Okay. Bader and Czech Congo. Go Bader. I'm gonna go Bader. Obviously, Bader is just a well-rounded fighter.
Yeah, Czech Congo. Like he's slow. He's past his prime. And
I mean, he's still a big guy who can hit.
He's big. I just see Bader using his movement, his foot movement, his speed.
He's on a win streak. Granted, he's on the win streak, but Bader is just a dynamic fighter. Just at the prime of his career and is just on a roll and two division champ. Yeah. I mean, it's just hard to bet against Bader.
Yeah, I agree.
Earlier that day, you have UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier in Abu Dhabi. The card itself is decent. I mean, it's really not the greatest.
It's a one-fight card.
It's a two-fight card.
I guess.
Yeah, I would say 3-fight card. A 4-fight card. Because you have Joanne Calderwood versus Andrea Lee in the prelims. I believe it was on FX. Is it on FX?
Yeah, ESPN had a deal with them.
Really? That's weird. Why wouldn't it just? I don't know why they wouldn't just do the whole card on. You have ESPN Plus, FX.
Because college football is on ESPN on Saturday.
But I mean,
Sunday.
This card is so early. It's like you have ESPN Plus, and then they go to FX, and they go to pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's 3 different.
Yeah, it's college football that's on Saturday, so it's college football in America is a big deal. That's why they have it on FX.
I can't. But how many games are this early though?
There's games at 9:00 in the morning.
Really?
And they run all day.
Oh shit!
Well, they have like the pregame, the kickoff
the pregame stuff.
Yeah, that's so it's.
But I mean, this concept of going from one paywall to another paywall to another paywall. It's like you have ESPN Plus paywall, cable, FX paywall, or you have to find somebody who has cable, and then then go to pay-per-view.
Even though the ESPN is invest in the UFC, college football is always going to be down.
Yeah, it's always going to be down. Football itself is going to be down. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, Joanne Calderwood, Andrea Lee. Who do you have?
I like Andrea Lee.
I do too. I have Andrea Lee too. On the main card, you have Diego Ferreira, Marbek Tusimov. Not too much for them. I don't know about that. You have Curtis Blades on the card versus Shamil Akhmedimov. You have Davi Ramos versus Islam Machev. Edson Barbosa versus Paul Felder in the co-main event, and Khabib and Poirier in the main event for the lightweight titles. Barbosa versus Felder 2. Who do you have?
I'm going to go Felder.
I'm going to go Felder too. I think Edson, out of the 2 fighters who has grown and developed over time, Felder I think has done that.
Well, now Barbosa's at ATT.
Yeah, Barbosa's at ATT. Felder's over at Duke Rufus. They both had somewhat success lately. So I mean, it'll be interesting. Edson won the first fight. I'll go with Felder in the second fight. I'll go with him. Khabib versus Dustin Poirier to unify the lightweight titles. Who do you have for this one?
It's a back. I mean, I'm having a hard time picking this fight, but I'm gonna have to go with the champ, and I'm gonna pick Khabib.
I'm gonna go with the champ too. I think it's gonna be. I say he finishes it. He finishes it early. Probably
third round.
The latest third round. I can even see him catching Poirier, faking going for a takedown and just cracking him with something and like getting him this weird ending finish. I think Poirier, again has much like I said with Stipe, you have to fight the perfect fight, stuff those takedowns, outbox him, stay calm, and just repeat. It's like if you had that perfect fight, I could see him winning. Yeah. Winning. It's 3. You have to win 3 rounds out of 5. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's going to be interesting. So
that's true. Yeah.
But it's hard to bet against a champ. You got to go Khabib.
Yeah.
Especially in Abu Dhabi.
And his dad's going to be in his corner for the first time.
Yeah, so. And he's got home field advantage. Basically, it's not too far away from where he lives. It's a much quicker trip than Dustin's. But that's our show for tonight. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Go to MMAComplex.com for the MMA Complex, everything MMA Complex. And we'll hopefully be back, recap the fights and Bachelor Party weekend. Let you guys know.
Yeah, recap the whole weekend. So enjoy the fights, and hopefully we'll be alive on next week's episode. So until then, enjoy the fights, enjoy your week.